Hello students, welcome back. So let us start with our very interesting chapter, A Great Women. So this is a story about Aung San Suu Kyi, who was known as the Iron Lady of Burma. On April 5th, 1989, a woman walked down the middle of the street, accompanied by several men. 6 soldiers of the State Law and Order Restoration Council, the junta. So what do we mean by junta? It means a small group who is very aggressive, students. So this junta, this small group of people, very aggressive people, which has crushed the democracy movement and killed thousands of people in Rangoon, ordered the group to stop. So on April 5th, 1989, what is happening? A woman is walking down the middle street. Who is this woman? Aung San Suu Kyi. So who is this woman, students? Aung San Suu Kyi, and she is accompanied by many men and 6 soldiers of State Law and Order Restoration Council. The group paid no heed. So it is a very aggressive group, and the group paid no heed to anyone. A young army captain whips out his revolver and jumps out of his jeep, ready to open fire. The women ask the men to move aside. So now this junta, this small group of aggressive men, they are coming out, and a young leader, a young army captain is coming out, and he is holding a revolver and he points it at Aung San Suu Kyi. So what did she repeat? So how did this Iron Lady replied? Providing them with a single target rather than bringing everyone else in seemed so much simpler. She later replied. She later explained. In the nick of time, a major intervenes and asks the captain to hold his fire. The lady walks on. So Aung San Suu Kyi very proudly and very courageously, she walks in front of the man who was holding a revolver, and she says that, kill me instead of all these people who are present here. You don't have to kill all these people. You have come here to kill me. So kill me. She is Aung San Suu Kyi, the Iron Lady of Burma. She has existed for around 20 years in the state of almost perpetual imprisonment. So what do we mean by perpetual, students? That temporary imprisonment. So for all these years she has been imprisoned, either in jail or was under house arrest. But she has always remained faithful to one project, which was democracy. So she was Iron Lady because she always wanted to save democracy, and she did it in the end. Aung San Suu Kyi was born on June 19th, 1945. Her father, General Aung San, was one of the 30 comrades who spearheaded the Japanese advance into British Burma before turning against the Japanese and finally negotiating Burma's independence with the Britishers. So even her father was a very courageous and a brave man who finally negotiated Burma's independence with Britishers. Just as he was taking over the first head of the Burmese state, General Aung San was assassinated. So what do we mean by assassinated, students? Assassinated means killed. So right before he was going to take over the first head of Burmese state, he was killed. It was the first national tragedy. So the whole nation was sad at the death of her father. The same day, in the statement to the press, the Indian Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru declared, I mourn Aung San, who even in his youth had become the artist of Burmese freedom. So Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru is paying homage and is saying that Aung San was a youth. He was a very strong and a courageous person who became the artist of Burmese freedom. I mourn for Burma Buffett at this critical moment of her chosen leader, and I mourn for Asia and lost one of her bravest and most far-seeing sons. In 1960, her mother, King Kyu, was appointed Burmese ambassador to India. Suki, a young girl of 15 with long thick plaits, joined Lady Shri Ram College, University of Delhi in India. Her circle of Indian friends widened. There was a wonderful opportunity to explore and understand the country of Mahatma Gandhi, recalls a family friend and a diplomat, Ma Tha E. Apart from college, Suki kept busy with Japanese flower arrangements and piano classes and riding lessons. So apart from all her usual stuff, apart from going to the college or attending college, she always had interest in Japanese flower arrangement technique, and she always used to take piano lessons and riding lessons. India for Suki was throbbing, vital experience. So when she came to India, it was a vital experience for Aung San Suu Kyi. Her bond of remembrance and love for this country have remained strong to date. With her mother leading the hectic social life of a diplomat, Suu Kyi got to know many senior Indian politicians. So when Suu Kyi was very young, even at that age, she got to know and met many politicians because of her mother, officials and diplomats in the capital. In 1964, she went to Oxford. So in 1964, Suu Kyi went to Oxford, where she studied philosophy, politics and economics. Later, she embraced on her first work experience as an assistant secretary. So it was her first work experience as an assistant secretary in United Nations Secretariat. Before her marriage in 1972, Suu Kyi asked her future husband, Dr. Michel Aris, for a favor. So before she is getting married, she is asking her husband for a little favor. So what is this favor, student? Let us see. I only asked one thing. So Suu Kyi asked only for one thing, which is that should my people need me, you would help me to do my duty for them. So she is asking her husband that if my people need me, I am going to go and you are not going to stop me. This is the only promise I want if I am to get married to you. Her life as a mother of 2 sons and a scholar continued smoothly during the following years. After traveling extensively throughout Himalayas and writing on India's age-old tradition of peace and tolerance, the couple returned back to London in early 1988. So this brings us to the end of the chapter, students. I hope you learnt a very important lesson from the life of Aung San Suu Kyi. Thank you.